What's going on, everybody, and welcome to bootcamp day number 2. Today we're going to be reviewing candlesticks and volume. I know this is probably going to be a refresher for a lot of you, but I highly encourage you to stick around for the entire video because there might be one thing in this video that helps you out in your trading. But before we hop into this video, what I need you guys to do is do your daily check-in, pause the video right now, and comment down below giving me your daily check-in. Let me know that you guys are still with me and you are determined to be here until the very end. And if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. But let's hop into it. All right, so I did prepare some slides for this, but we are also going to be looking at charts. So like I said, bootcamp day number 2, we are going to be reviewing candlesticks and volume. When it comes to candlesticks, I only pay attention to a few very basic ones. I know there's a bunch of weird candlestick formation names, like just some crazy candlestick formations, like the upside down clown went into the cloud, drip top drop. I don't know, I just made that up, but there are some really weird candlestick formations. So we're only going to be focusing on the main ones that I pay attention to. So the very first one is going to be a bullish and bearish hammer. Looking at the bullish hammer on this example over here, this is where price ended up opening up on that specific time frame. It could be the 5-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, hour, whatever time frame you are using to identify your setup. This is where the open is on the green. Price traded up to this high point right up here, but sometime throughout that time frame, price dropped all the way down to this low, but the buyers were strong enough to the point that they were able to push price all the way back up into this high point right here. And by the end of that time frame, we got a close up here. What is that telling us? Buyers are very, very strong. If price dropped all the way down to here and they push price all the way back up here, those buyers are strong and those buyers are outweighing the sellers. For a hammer to be considered a bullish hammer, it doesn't have to just be green. It could be red as well. I see a lot of people get that confused. They'll see a red body and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. That is not a bullish hammer. Yes, it is. It doesn't matter if it's green. It doesn't matter if it's red. If we have a small body at the top of the candle and then a very long lower wick, that is going to be considered a bullish hammer. And when you see a bullish hammer, this is a bullish indication that buyers are likely going to try to push prices up. In tomorrow's class, when we talk about the price action and how we piece together the overall candlesticks and volume and levels, it's going to make a lot more sense. So for the time being, this is a bullish hammer. Again, it implies that buyers are going to try to push price higher. Now, as far as the inverted hammer, also known as a bearish hammer, it's pretty much flipped upside down. So this is where price opened up on the green candle. They pushed price all the way up into this high. However, the sellers outweighed the buyers and were able to push price all the way back down to here as the candle closed. Same thing over here, except price opened right here and it pushed all the way up to this high. However, the sellers were so strong that they pushed price all the way back down to this low point right here. And this is indicating that sellers are outweighing the buyers and that more than likely they are going to try to push price down. Again, tomorrow when we piece together the levels as well as the price action and the volume, it's going to make a lot more sense. Now we are going to run through these candlesticks and then we're actually going to go look at a real chart. But the next candlestick that we're going to be looking at is the bullish and bearish engulfing. So as we can see, we have this small bodied red candle right here, and then just a massive green candle right here that swallows up the previous red candle. What this is implying is that there were little sellers right here, and the next candle was enough buyers to swallow up the amount of sellers over here. That's what's considered a bullish engulfing. However, when I trade, if there's just a big, thick green candle, I'm going to consider that a bullish engulfing candlestick. To me, it doesn't necessarily have to swallow up a previous red candle. As long as it is a large green candlestick, I consider that a bullish engulfing, and that implies that buyers are very, very strong at that area. As far as bearish engulfing, we have this small body green candle and then a large red candle right here. This is implying that there wasn't a lot of buyers right here, but when the sellers came in, they were able to swallow up the previous buyers, implying a lot of selling pressure. So when we see bullish engulfings, this implies that price is more than likely going to push higher. When we see bearish engulfings, this implies that price is more than likely going to go lower. Again, when we talk about volume and levels, it's going to make a lot more sense. The next candlesticks I pay attention to are Dragonfly and Gravestone dojis. A little different than the bullish and bearish hammers just because the actual body of the candlestick is a little smaller. So as we can see on this red candle right here, price opened right here, pushed all the way up into this high point right here, and then sellers drove the price all the way back down into this low point right here. So this implies to us that the sellers were so strong that they drove price all the way back down into this low, and that body is very, very small. That is a gravestone doji, and that implies that more than likely sellers are going to try to push prices lower. Now, as far as a Dragonfly doji, we opened up here, price dropped all the way down into this low point right here, but the buyers were so strong that they pushed price all the way back up towards that opening price. So when we see this implies that buyers are more than likely going to try to push prices higher. And then the final candlestick that I pay attention to is going to be dojis. A doji just basically is telling us indecision in the market. If the market is trending up, and then all of a sudden we get a doji, that is more than likely going to be a reversal pattern just because buyers are not too sure about pushing prices higher. However, if price is dropping and then all of a sudden we get a doji, that implies that the sellers are actually uncertain about pushing prices lower, but the buyers are showing their presence. So again, we're uptrending, all of a sudden we see a doji, buyers are uncertain about pushing prices higher, and then sellers are actually showing their presence because they're pushing prices back down. At one point, this was just a bullish candlestick right here, and the green body went all the way up to here. However, the sellers came in, drove price all the way down. At one point, this was a bearish candlestick with a body all the way down here. However, the buyers came in and pushed prices all the way back up here. So again, when we see dojis at the top or bottom of a trend, that implies that one side became uncertain about pushing or driving prices lower, and then the other side was actually showing their presence. So if price is coming down to a support level, we want to be looking for bullish candlesticks. It could be bullish hammers, it could be a bullish engulfing, it could be a dragonfly doji. When I see that at levels of interest, that confirms a trade. If price is coming up to a resistance and I see an inverted hammer, a bearish engulfing, or a gravestone doji, that validates an entry for me. And again, we're going to go over that tomorrow. So those are the basic candlesticks that I pay attention to. Again, no crazy, insane names. There's literally so many of them, but I keep it very basic when it comes to the candlesticks. Now, the last thing we're going to discuss is going to be volume. I'm going to show it to you on a chart, and then we're going to look at some candlesticks. So volume, the amount of shares traded in a specific time period. That's it. All right, so now actually looking at a chart, if we pull up the S&P 500 futures, if we go to the 15-minute time frame and we look down at the volume right here, this is showing us how much volume was traded on the 15-minute time frame. So when this candlestick opened right here, this volume was at 0. By the end of the candlestick, the volume was all the way up to here. So if we look at this candlestick, this is a bearish engulfing candlestick. Again, for me personally, when it comes to looking at bullish or bearish engulfings, if there is a large red candle or green candle, this would be my red candle, this would be my green candle. If there is a large red candle, I consider it bearish engulfing. Look at the size of this candle compared to the previous candles. This is a bearish engulfing. Or over here, as we see, price drop. This would actually be a bullish engulfing right here. Price swallowed up the previous candlestick right here. Very large green candle. And as we see what ended up happening, price continued to push higher. So now when you're able to piece together the volume plus what's actually happening on the candlestick, you get a very good understanding of what is going to happen next. So as we can see right here, price drop. And then all of a sudden on the 15-minute time frame, we get a 15-minute bullish hammer. Again, it doesn't have to be green. It could be green or red. And no, I'm not colorblind. This is just how I like my chart. But as we can see, we get a bullish engulfing at the bottom of a downtrend. Now, depending on if there is a level of interest there, that could confirm an entry. So at the beginning of this candlestick, price opened right here, price dropped all the way down to here, but buyers were so strong that they then pushed price all the way back up to here, and we got a nice bullish candlestick. Sometimes you might have to wait for a few candlesticks to form before validating an entry. So because we have a bullish hammer right here, a small bodied candle right here, and then a bullish engulfing right here, that would confirm an entry. And again, look at the green volume compared to the previous red volume. As we come down, we get the bullish hammer, selling off on lighter volume, a small bodied red candle right here, and then a bullish engulfing with larger green volume than the previous candlestick right here. That would confirm an entry. As price is pushing up, as we can see, we get this gravestone doji right here with elevated volume on the 15-minute time frame. So as price opened right here, it pushed up, sellers drove price all the way back down here, and that's probably where a majority of that 15-minute volume came from. And then we had another doji, buyers being uncertain about pushing prices higher. Again, if you had a level of interest up here, maybe that ended up confirming a trade. But as price trades down, it then tries to push back up. We then get another gravestone doji right here, and then price starts to break below right here at 815. If none of this gave you an entry, price pushes to the downside, comes back up, and then we get a bearish hammer right here on the 15-minute time frame, suggesting more than likely more downside is going to come. So as you piece this together with the previous candlesticks of this Dragonfly doji of uncertainty, price drops lower, price tries to push up, comes back down, and then we get some thick sell candles right here, and then again we come back up, and then we get this inverted hammer suggesting more than likely price is going to drop. That could validate an entry. Now for me, when it comes to looking at the candlesticks, I am very interested in the wicks. The wicks are going to be the ones that let you know where the buyers and sellers are. So as we can see with price over here, price drops to the downside. We get this nice bullish hammer right here, Dragonfly doji, whatever you want to call it. Look at that lower wick right there. Buyers are now present. As price comes back down again, what happens? 15-minute wick right back down into this low right here, and buyers bought it right back up. A little later in the day, price dips to the downside, buyers buy it right back up. And as a result, what happens? Price pushes back to the upside. Sellers were not able to drive prices lower below these lows right here. And as a result, what's more than likely going to happen? The buyers are going to come in and try to push prices higher. Here's a really good example in the overnight session on ES. As we see, price starts dropping to the downside. And then all of a sudden we get a Dragonfly doji with very nice volume right here on the 15-minute time frame. Again, that is not always going to confirm an entry right away, but as you continue to watch more and more price action, what do we see? We wick down again, and then we get a bullish hammer right here on increased volume right here. Again, piecing together previous candlesticks with current candlesticks, that could then validate an entry. And as a result, price ended up pushing to the upside. And we got the guest speaker today, so she is going to take the video from here. No, I'm just kidding. So now if we continue to scroll back, looking at price over here, as we can see, we have this drop to the downside. Price then tries to push back up, setting a lower high. And then as we start dropping to the downside, bearish engulfing, very thick red candle to the downside. Buyers then try to start buying it up right here, and then another strong bearish engulfing, suggesting more downside is to come. And as we can see, price continue to drop to the downside. Looking at a 15-minute time frame over here, looking at the 15-minute time frame over here, there's actually a couple examples. As we can see, price tries to push up right here. What do we get? A nice little gravestone doji at the top of an uptrend, then a bearish engulfing. What happens? Price ends up pulling to the downside. Looking at this 15-minute candlestick right here, what happens? Price dips down, buyers buy it all the way back up, giving us a nice long lower wick, and sure enough, they go and push price higher. Then as we can see, we have this thick green candle right here, but then the following 15-minute candle, we have a thick red candle, which is a bearish engulfing candlestick. And as a result, what ends up happening? Price ends up dropping lower. As price pushes up the following morning, what do we see? We have a nice push to the upside, and from there we then get a 15-minute gravestone doji at the top of an uptrend, which is suggesting a reversal. And as a result, what happens? Price ends up pulling to the downside. So now when you're actually looking at these candlesticks, what's going to be very important is reading the volume with these candlesticks. Because as we can see in this 15-minute time frame right here, price tries to push up, it's on low volume, they keep selling it off. Then a little later in the day, price comes up, we have this 15-minute bearish candlestick right here on heavy volume, suggesting that the sellers are active up in this area. Again, piecing together the price action plus the volume is going to give you a very good understanding on what is going to happen next. Looking over here on the 15-minute time frame, what happens with the S&P 500? Slow uptrend all day, and then all of a sudden this massive volume spike right here with this long upper wick. What does that suggest? Sellers are active in this area. And what happened for the remainder of the day? Price sold off. So that is going to wrap up bootcamp day number 2. Today we covered candlesticks as well as volume. Again, piecing together the actual candlestick with the volume is going to give you a very good understanding if buyers or sellers are active at the area. And as a result, that can help us find high probability trades. So again, make sure you guys do tune in tomorrow for bootcamp day number 3, where we are going to be talking about price action. So if you guys did find value in bootcamp day number 2, what I need you to do right now is make sure to smash that like button. And again, make sure you guys are subscribed with that bell notification on so you are notified every single time these bootcamp videos go up. Comment down below if you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video at 7 p.m. Eastern time.